Welcome to our fruitcake class. This class is actually called the Ball Fruitcake class. My name is Ruth from Briggs. I'm the creative director of Routie's Delight, and I'm going to be your tutor for today. In the previous videos that you've watched, we've taught you how to line your pan, so we're not going to be having any of those in this video. We're going to start by showing you our ingredients. The first thing we're going to do is, this is our fruit, hacked brown sugar, water, butter, cashew nuts, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, baking soda, eggs, and flour. This is what we're going to use to make our cake today. Our cake is actually going to be in two sessions. The first one is going to be over fire, and the second one is going to be when we're done with the fire. I'm sure you're going to be asking us, why don't we have this soaked in rum or orange juice or whatever else it is you use to soak your cakes? This is because this is the pattern that we're going to use. It's called the ball fruit cake for a reason, especially for those that don't use alcohol to bake the cake. This recipe I actually teach to Muslims, but I'm opening it up to a lot of other people because a lot of other people don't take alcohol, and you want to minimize the alcohol that you're going to put inside your cake. So this is another method of the fruit cake class. Okay, I want to show you what we used for this particular recipe. You could use any butter. In fact, actually, I like to use margarine for my cakes regularly. But because this doesn't have all the rum details and all the flavors other than from the spices, I'm using butter for this. The butter that we're going to use is the real butter. If you don't have it in your location, you could always buy Ambassador, President, Embold, whatever else that you find. Just make sure that you look for butter. When you want to buy good butter, make sure that you're looking for butter that has 82% fat. It makes it yummy. It's awesome. And then for this class, we're using the Baker's Choice soft brown sugar. That's a mixed fruit pack I bought. It's called the Magic Choice. But you can find any other mixed fruit of your choice, okay? But for this class, this is what we're using. We're also using ground cinnamon. You can use any brand at all, as long as it's giving you good flavor. You can use ground ginger. You can actually grate ginger yourself and do that. I didn't want to do that for this class. We're using baking soda, and then we're using vanilla flavor. For this purpose, we're using Dream. Dream is one of our sponsors, so we're using Dream flavor for our class. All right, let's go straight to class now. Okay, we're going to bake in two parts, okay? Like the name implies, it's a boiled fruit cake, so it's going to go under some form of heat. We're going to put our measured quantity of fruit inside. The second thing we're going to put inside is our sugar. We're going to put our spices inside. Try to get everything that you measured. And then you put in your water. I expect you to be asking me questions at this point. Now, we're going to take this over to heat. Why do you think that we put this over the heat? Regularly, when you are baking cakes, you know that if you had soaked your cakes for a while, it would have plumbed. What does it mean for it to plumb? It means that each fruit, let's take for instance this one that didn't go in, you can see that it's really dry. Now when you put it in alcohol, it swells up. So alcohol is actually contained inside your fruit. That is what helps the preservation of your fruit later on, because it contains the alcohol. It starts to burst the flavors into the cake. That's why fruit cakes are allowed to rest for a while. They're not just baked and eaten. Not that you can't bake it and eat, depends on your preference, but that's the whole idea of a fruitcake. So now the ball fruitcake is saying you don't have to have alcohol, you don't have to have any of those things inside. You could just boil your fruit with these flavors to plump it a little bit, and then you continue to mix. So let's go over to the fire now. Okay, so now we're about to bring it to a boil. we have to keep stirring and stirring until our butter, you can't find any traces of butter anymore. So we're going to stir till all of our butter dissolves. If you notice, low heat, we're going to put it on low heat. So start stirring until you can't find traces of butter anymore. As you can see, the butter is beginning to wear off slowly. We're stirring so that we can get everything up and running. When you find out that you don't have any traces of butter anymore, you just leave it on the heat to boil for 5 minutes. Okay, as you can see, can you see the food? We're supposed to leave it to boil for 5 minutes. So 5 minutes is almost up. So it's boiling. I'm checking for the fruit if it's a bit plump. Alright, so we're going to strain this, let it cool a little bit, and then we'll go to part 2. Our fruit mix has cooled. It's going to be gooey. It's sticky, gooey, very tasty, flavors busting out. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to put in our egg. If you notice the first time the eggs were whole, and now they are whisked. So we're going to put this in. Let's assume that's 1 egg I've just put in. And then we're going to make sure that it's incorporated. Right. Put in my vanilla. I'm going to put in mine so that you can fold in. Fold it floor. Making sure that everything is incorporated. That's why you see me trying to scrape from the side as well. And then I'm putting in nuts, almonds and cashew nuts inside because you can't boil this, so I'm going to put this in last. And we're going to fold it in nicely. It smells really, really lovely. And then we're going to spoon it, check that everything is in the way you want it. So cake is ready. I'm doing free advert for paper cups, and this is our paper cup. What we baked a small quantity, so we don't really have to put it inside the pan. So you could use either a paper plate or your 6-inch or 4-inch pan to bake your cake. So we're about to put it in the oven now, and we'll wait 45 to an hour for it to be cooked, and then we'll show it to you later. Thank you.